9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I saw something.
Hallorann!
This thing I got, let me see things.
What kind of things?
Dead ones.
Oh, you know what they say about Derry, dear? No one who dies here ever really dies.
What is up? What is going on? We are back and we are here to talk about Welcome to Derry episode 7. Got the usual suspects in the house. Brian, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
One third is Bowler Kings. We go live Mondays and Thursdays and Saturday nights. But Saturday morning, I'm with that man over there. That man, you scared get a dog? Anzo over there. We're going to have a lot of fun on Saturday. It's going to be awesome. We're going to talk about these trailers. We're going to talk about what's going on with Doomsday. We're going to talk about Warner Brothers Discovery, what the F is going on, that stuff. And we're going to hear you guys. So can't wait.
Absolutely. Because
Guys, I was wrong. Bigger Ford is always right.
Does anyone believe that? Come on, man.
T-Virus is in the house. T-Virus. Tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Yep. Hey, what's going on, humans? Terrence here. You can find me on World's Finest Team Up with my friend Sean Stackhouse. And due to the fact that I've been able to drink eggnog every day since the last stream, the creativity is just on an all-time high. So go over there and see what time it is.
Eggnog is disgusting. Ugh.
Hey, I got this chocolate mint like mixed eggnog. It's pretty fire.
Chocolate mint eggnog. Yuck. I'm good. I'm good. I think I could pass on that one, you know. But guys, we are here to talk about episode 7. Welcome to Derry. The name of this episode was The Black Spot, and we got exactly what we thought we were going to get. But we are also got a lot of like, Terrence, we got to go at you, bro. Sorry. We got to go at you.
You and your general Shaw bad
capping for Shaw hard, bro.
Wait, hold on. First of all, I was not capping. I said that, you know, I got to see more stuff, but I already disowned him multiple episodes ago. Like, he's already been disowned.
But we're going back to the first one, man.
Yeah.
We're going back to the first one because you know what? He is awful. Like, he's the reason all this is happening. And everything we said he was doing for the black and brown people, he was doing on purpose.
Mm-hmm. We were expendable. He didn't give a shit about us. It's like, hey, you know what? We're gonna send the black people in on the front lines because that's what we've done since the beginning of history. We always send the black people in first, and we're gonna do the same thing again. Samuel Stokes said this show is fantastic. Absolutely, 100%. Now, before we get started, I seen a video. Right, I didn't really watch it yet, but it's double toasted. I kind of like those guys' videos every now and then. They had a title where they said the perfect series. So I didn't know if they were saying it or they were asking a question. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think this is like the perfect series?
So it's a good mix of factual time period along with a story that doesn't ruin what we've gotten from it already.
Mm-hmm.
That's very difficult to do. And we're going to get prequels that are going to also complement it. And the fact that, you know, I can't say that they're not focusing on, you know, my people or overall like that, because we're probably the most important characters there is also interesting. But along with the time period, you still understand the evil. And I think it's also, it has that talk to how things are evil, how evil it was back in the 60s. And it makes you look at yourself and wonder, are the things that you're saying, the things that you did, was that evil too?
Facts.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's perfect, but it's definitely an A.
Definitely. Damn near, to me, I agree with you, Samuel Stokes. Damn near perfect. Go ahead, T.
So to me, I'm not against the idea of humans saying that it's perfect because what it is great. So
Hmm.
most shows that I've seen in the last 5 years, they're very disappointing. They're either trash all the way through, or they're mediocre, or they mess up the ending or something. It just doesn't feel to the rate that it should be. You can tell that the writers are very lazy. They just don't want to put any effort into making something good. They do it on purpose. But in this case, what I said from the beginning is that it feels very cinematic. It feels like an extension of the movie. Like, a lot of times you don't get that when it comes to prequels and sequels, especially if it's done in a TV series format. You feel that it's disconnected, but this feels like if they would have made this a 2 hour movie, you can see this being a movie, and that it works so well in its delivery because you have a bunch of great characters that you like, or even the ones that you decide to dislike, they're still great for the disliking purposes. So I think that it's just great all the way around.
Absolutely. Pennywise is way vicious and cooler on television
Way
than the
more
movies.
vicious. Yeah, way
Way
more
more.
vicious.
You know
But
what? Go
I
ahead.
asked you, Anzo, before you go. I'm going to ask you specifically. What do you think about Bill Skarsgård?
I think he is absolutely destroying the role of Pennywise. He is doing such a good job, right? And even to me, like, I know original Tim Curry, right? But Skarsgård's better. He's just better. He's menacing. He has, and one night I was sitting there and I was trying to do the laugh. I couldn't do it. I could not do his Pennywise laugh. I couldn't do it. Like, it doesn't sound nothing compared to what he does. So I think he brings a lot to the role of Pennywise. And it feels like he was made to play Pennywise. You know what I mean? I think he's done a really good job on that. And I don't know if there's many actors out there that can do the same thing.
I will say, I know you hate The Dark Knight, but what Heath Ledger did to Joker, I think it's the same thing. Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger, I think it's that same type of thing, and how you brought another realm, another layer of Pennywise to the screen. And I think when you have something that has as much, I guess, a universal kind of world as Stephen King's books do, it's better to do it in TV show form the way they're doing it, because basically it is a 10-hour movie. This is what it is. It's a 10-hour movie that they're breaking up.
Agreed.
So, yeah, Bill Skarsgård as an actor. So, what I will say is that he's always been a very good actor. Now, he doesn't always pick the best projects, which unfortunately has hurt him as a celebrity, but his skills have not changed. Like, he, for the most part, tends to be on point. And I think that, Pennywise, based on everything that I've seen from him, this is the only role that anyone mentions just because it's been able to make such a big impact. So I think that he is great as a character. I like Tim Curry. I grew up watching him, when they had that whole TV thing. I was like, that's really cool. Like, he just kind of is a staple in his own right when it comes to horror, just because it's like, oh shit, that's Pennywise, right? But then with Bill Skarsgård, his is just different, So I don't want to take anything away from Tim Curry. I just think that Bill was in a position to be a lot more vicious because it was made for cinema, and because in this context it made specifically for HBO. He is allowed to do things that Tim Curry just could not do on TV at that time. But I think that, Tim Curry, if you would have given him the means to do that, I think he could have also did equally just impressive with the type of stuff that they allowed him to do. But I think that Bill, he should be respected for his skills. But if he's listening, Bill, if you're listening, fire your fucking agent. Like, I'm tired of your agent giving you that shit to work with. But other than that, man, you're really talented. Yeah, like that shit. Oh my God.
Oh, what up, Jason? Thanks for popping in. Mike said I didn't appreciate the show making me root for Pennywise. I don't know if it's making me root for Pennywise, but I'm really like, once he comes on screen, I think that's who you want to see. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to see what Pennywise does next, and there's some moments in this which we're going to get to in the breakdown, but there are some moments in this where I'm like, yeah, this guy, he's doing an amazing job, So I definitely like Bill Skarsgård. And to your point, T, you're right. it's hard to compare the two at the same time, just like it's hard to compare the two Jokers, you know what I mean? Because it's a different period, different kind of way. But for me, I just think which performance I like better now, which is Skarsgård all the way. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, so to your point, right? Because you made two multiple points that are great, right? So I think that in this instance with Pennywise, it makes more sense to do a comparison because it's coming from one source, right? But with the Joker, you can do that just because there are so many different iterations, right? Now, within those iterations, 99% of the time, Joker is the same, but it's just a matter of like, what do you have him doing in any given storyline? So I love comparing the different actors when it comes to those comic book characters. But I feel like with this, because it's so condensed, it's just like pick your poison. You know, if you like Tim Curry more, cool. If you like Bill Skarsgård, cool. Or if you like them equally, like the same, right? Because I've talked to humans who are like, man, I love them both. But for me, I'm kind of with you in the sense that I lean a little bit more towards Bill, even though I love Tim Curry.
I got you. The theme song is very creepy. Best line for me, I'm your dancing daddy. Facts, 100%. I see Brian Brian clicks on his camera, just a big smile, so I think he froze. And I'm just dying.
I'm like, what is going on? I'm trying to get off. Now it's crazy because I look like I'm Pennywise, you know, like.
Oh wait, I gotta see that. You gotta turn on your camera, Brian. Like, yep, just that'd be like it fits with the screen. But
yeah, like a Pennywise smile to be on there.
Right, like
then,
yeah.
Thank you for popping in, much appreciated.
What's up, Mika?
So now this episode starts off in 1908, and we get a backstory. And to be honest with you, I was like, okay, this is good. Let's hope this whole episode is a backstory because I don't want to watch what's coming up. I did not want to deal with it, you know. But we get Pennywise, Bob, before he's actually becomes Pennywise, and they show his clown act, and incorporated in the clown act is the death of his wife, and it has the kids them going crazy and happy.
I caught that, Anzo. That guy, Muccietti. Yep, I caught that.
Yes.
That was a lot. I was surprised that everyone was cheering for everything he was showing.
Yeah, me too. Especially when it got a little bit dark at the end, you know what I mean? And then it ends with the gopher actually. And I get the theme, right? Because it starts off with him trying to get the flower. He can't get the flower. You know what I mean? Then he goes home. His wife dies. He gives the little last dance. Then he buries her. And then finally the gopher pops up and gives him the flower, right? So I get the whole point of the act and everything. Just was a little bit towards the death part, kind of like, is this something for kids? You know what I mean? So,
but you know why the humans were cheering? It's because humans are savage in nature. Like I've been saying that for the longest time, and I'm gonna bring it up again to a stronger point as we progress. But yeah, could continue.
No, you're right. But now, as the whole circus act is going on, we see in the background this little kid just watching from a distance, you know, and then it zooms in on him. Then it shows him from the back to show who he's watching. And right away, you're like, oh, that's Pennywise. Now, I like this part because it gives you a reason as to why Pennywise was so enamored with the clown, right? Realizing that all the kids were drawn to it. What did you guys think about the opening scene so far? Go ahead, Brian.
Super creepy, right? You know, when you see the little kid, I was like, dude, why is this little kid just sitting on top of the barn? Like, what? No one else sees this stuff going on? And, you know, and I think seeing the human nature part of it too was kind of bothersome for me. I'm seeing how bad people are already, and that's why Pennywise can just kind of just
manipulate,
and not just manipulate, but just kind of blend in and not stand out. No matter how terrible a person he really is, it just seems to be something he could just be, and no one notices it. No one has a problem.
Yeah, I can see that. Definitely. T.
Okay, so when I was watching this, it just kind of reminded me of the idea of expressing oneself, right? I remember Bruce Lee used to talk about that, honestly expressing oneself, like whatever that form is, right? So for this guy, him dressing up as a clown and performing, that's him being honest for himself. If he feels like that's something that he needs to do. So it just felt very real because even like, for me, I started painting my face when I was in high school, right? And that was a
Mhm.
form of me expressing myself. And you get different responses for that. So I feel like this kind of gave us a means to feel sorry for his character in a way because he comes across as being so human. And arguably, he might be the purest one in the sense that he doesn't seem to be inherently bad like most humans are. Like you just want him to be okay in this situation and then hope for something better. So I think that this scene really conveyed like, hey, he's just a guy trying to live his life and there's some tragedy in there that he's managed to put some humorous spin on, but you can tell that he still carries that love and that pain with him. So it makes him a sympathetic character.
100%, because there's a part where the curtain doors are closing, right, and they're opening back up, and you see them taking a drink, right? So you realize that he's kind of an alcoholic, right? But he's
Right.
still doing his job. He's still doing what he has to do. And then we go cut to him and his daughter, and she's painting up his face, and you know, um, it's funny because at first I was like, I wonder if they're gonna make him this like asshole of a dad. You know what I mean? But they
Mhm.
didn't. He was like, "No, you're gonna be Pennywise and Pearly Winkle show, right?" As you see here, and
Right.
she's like, "Oh, that was Mom's name," and he's like, "What? You don't like it?" She's like, "No, I love it." So the dynamic that they had between father and daughter was really good. So this kind of shows you, right, how bad Pennywise is, and then you get the lighter side where it's like, oh man, like Bob, he was a good dude. You know what I mean? He was a
He
good
was
dude.
trying hard, and everyone else was the problem. That and
Mm-hmm.
but that
He
just shows again how bad human beings are. Like we are really a bad creature. Like I don't know
I've
else. Like
been
pirates.
saying that for 20 years, full circle moment, as I've been saying from the jump. There is nothing worse than a human. I don't care what it is, because the reason why I say that is because that when you have these different entities and demons and stuff, that's just how they are. They're never going to be anything different. But what makes humans worse is that they have choices and they choose to do horrible stuff. So to me,
Mm-hmm.
when you can be anything, but you choose to be something bad and something negative, that really says a lot in comparison to something that doesn't have a choice. It just is.
Yeah, I feel you. You're 100% correct. I don't disagree with that. You know what I mean? So we get to Bob. What's his last name? Bob. Anyways, he's smoking a cigarette, and then all of a sudden, this little kid comes up talking about, oh, I lost my mummy. Can you help me find my mummy? Now he said the right thing in the first step. He was like, "Scram, get out of here." And then he said, "No." You know. Then he heard the scream, and because he heard the scream, I guess he decided, like, you know what? I'm gonna go help her. But this scene, and I'm glad it stopped right on it. It's pretty dark. All you see is these eyes. That shit was crazy. I'm like, the way they are doing certain things in this show is absolutely amazing. What did you think about this part, T?
So, man, it just really hit because the Bob character, I like how, once again, you see that he's in pain and he's trying to relax, like just he's
Mm-hmm.
drinking and doing this, like, okay, let me try to deal with my pain the best way I can, even though it's not the best way to go about it. That's the way that he does it.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid coming up to him, he wasn't like super mean, but he just wanted to be left alone. He's okay, I'm not here to entertain anymore. Go on
Mm-hmm.
about your business. But
Mm-hmm.
when he hears that scream, I feel in most cases with humans when they hear screaming or some sort of voice elevation, their instincts kick in and they want to help a lot of times. or at least they'll go and check it out. And I knew, like, oh damn, it got him. It got him, Azo. He got a daughter and stuff. Why'd you leave? Like, I just kind of was, yelling at the screen and things,
You said, I hear that screaming. I'm like, hold on, let me go see if I can find somebody for you. Right? I ain't going in those woods at nighttime like that. Are you out of your mind?
So,
with this creepy ass kid.
Okay, so it's not number one. He could have said all he wanted. Hey, mister, can you help me? Nope. I hear somebody scream. I'm like, man, I hope somebody help that human. I ain't doing it because I ain't
the smartest thing you've said in 7 episodes.
Absolutely.
I don't need to be doing anything with those kids. I don't need to be going after Pennywise. I'm gonna go, oh, you need somebody? Let me go call someone who cares. Let me go find someone else. Let me go get the ringmaster. You go talk to him. I'm gonna go deal with my daughter. If I'm told any creepy ass kids gonna be my daughter, I ain't worried about you.
Hold on. Yes. So this smartest thing. Now there's reasons behind this, y'all. So because I don't know these humans, there's no reason for me to sacrifice myself. I'm like, no, I don't care what's happening. I'm not going to necessarily condone it, but I don't have to sacrifice myself to save. Because to me, it's like if you're not on the Terrence contract and I actually care about you as a person, I'm not going to sacrifice myself to help you. I don't do that. I know there's going to be a lot of humans like, oh, that's so cruel and you have to. No, I don't have to do nothing. You have to do something. I
ain't got to do two things. Stay black and die one day. And today's not that day. And we'll go ahead and let you go ahead go.
100%. You are absolutely correct. He didn't even tell his daughter where he was going. He just up and left with that little kid. You know what I mean? Because he heard the scream. And then the little kid held his hand and they walked into the forest. And then we get Periwinkle looking for her father. Periwinkle looking for her father. And they give her this handkerchief with his blood all over it. And then he starts to cry. And this get to the intro.
Everything I've always told you. Like, if I have a little white girl that's sitting in an elevator, right? And the elevator opens up and there's a little white girl and she ain't got her pants around. Do I go and help the little white girl or do I just walk away? And this is the reason why I walk away and call 911.
See,
I'm not holding her hand. I'm not going to go walk her into anything. I'm not walking this little girl. I don't know who she is. I've seen poltergeist. I am not doing this.
This is another full circle moment because another man left his daughter, Hank. You know what I'm saying? We don't get this a little later.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. We're gonna get to them too, because them parents in this episode,
this entire town is awful. They're the worst parents I've ever seen on TV ever.
Me too. 100%. Me too. Right. He just finished saying he doesn't know where his parents are. Then that scream happens, and it's like, oh, that's my mom. Exactly.
Hey, she go find her then.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Hey,
right.
You better get on a good foot.
You found her. We won. Go ahead, go get her.
I'm more concerned that he just knows what his mom sounds like when she screams. I mean, I guess, but for you to be calm and be like, oh, I can't find him. You just hear something random. Like, oh, that's my mom right there. Like,
and then you're like, okay, let me go help you find your mom. So first off, why the fuck is she streaming? I'm walking out there with you with no weapon whatsoever. He didn't have a gun, nothing. What's he gonna do?
He gonna dance.
Okay, let me ask you. Okay, so you're in that same situation, but now it's me out in the woods, and you hear me scream. Like you would come because we're brothers, right? Like because I'm screaming, like because you know me, that'd be different.
I was like, man, I told his ass not to go out there. I told his ass not to go out there.
I'm gonna say
knock
this
him out and bring him in.
This is what I'm gonna say. If you're screaming, there ain't shit I can do. So there's no reason for me to go look for you, brother. I'd be like, oh shit, Tara screaming? Well, I love you, brother, but I'm sorry.
Pour a little bit out for you right here. Pour a little bit out.
Absolutely. There's no way. You guys screaming? What am I gonna do? Worse than Kevin McAllister's parents. Oh, 100%.
Oh, facts.
We know why it was worse, because Kevin McAllister's parents, it was an accident. These motherfuckers.
Right, you can't do it twice, though.
I know. Yeah, I know. You got an accident, they do it twice. I get that 100%. But I'm just saying the reason I'm saying that is because these parents knew where these kids were. They knew. You know what I mean?
Charlotte dropped them off.
Yes,
and let me drop you off to the club and not come back and get you.
Hey,
right,
Pennywise is not the villain. The first villain is Lilly. You know what she did to Maddie and stuff. She could have saved him. Then she took the kids down the sewer. And then you got the U.S. government messing with things they're not supposed to mess with. And then you got the whole Civil War. Like, okay. And then you got Hank Grogan, right? This dude decided in the 60s that he wanted some white pussy, and then subsequently that led to the downfall of what we're gonna get to later. See, it's human.
We have that same story now, right? Look at Michigan. What's the downfall of all great men?
Yes.
I'm just saying that Pennywise is innocent. Yep, he's just sitting back like, damn, these humans dumb as hell, and he's just capitalizing off of it. That's all.
So we get to the black spot, and the racist guys come. It's exactly where the last episode ended off, and they're looking for Hank. So they go inside, right? And what's his name? Halligan comes out and says he's not here. And then 2 minutes later, Hank walks out and is like, no, I'm here. Let everybody go and this and that. And then they tell them, no, we're not going to do that. But now this part where it was like,
this is the dumbest thing ever.
No, it is.
It is.
But
look, I'm here.
We're not asking. So he comes out when the brother said, it took him a while, right? I don't know why it took him. Yeah, that was fire still. And then he's like, but ours are government issued. You know what I'm saying? So if we shoot you, if we shoot you and you die, ain't nothing gonna happen to us. You guys are on our property. You know?
And they got that military training. Like, to me, that was like, there's a lot of times when you hear stuff in certain contexts and scenes where it don't hit. But for them to pull that, like, hey, we got guns too, government issue, it's like, these are trained soldiers right here. These are not just regular black people. So if there were to be a shootout, like, they would get most of the hits because they have training to do that.
Yes. But that, just like you said, scene is fire, but this scene goes from fire to absolute stupid, right? Why did you not follow them out? These like are racist white guys.
300 years of slavery, the Jim Crow South, all this stuff that you've been dealing with for the last 300 years. You trust the white people just to walk out there?
Walk out. Really and truly, right? And the white people, as soon as they walked out of there, they were chaining up them doors. So they didn't even get a chance. No, you escort them people out of there.
Mm-hmm. You walk out there, you want to see you pull away.
So that, you're right. That was stupid because really, so when you look at the totality of it, right, you really have 400 years of slavery broken into different parts where they were more or less savage at different points, if you want to look at it like that. But this whole like, meet us outside or we'll just walk out back. That is the universal code that we're going to seal you in there. Like, you always follow them outside because when someone comes in with rage or hatred of any kind, you have to always assume that they're being dishonest, that they have some sort of plan to screw you over, even if their demands are met. You have to always look at it as, I don't care if you do what they want or what they say, you have to be ready to strike because you can't trust them. You can't do it. And they did. So
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So all of them got guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That shack is made out of wood, right?
Facts.
Right.
No one thought maybe I should just shoot these things, shoot the wood, and get the hell out of the back.
100%.
You know, that's a great point. And aside from
issue ones too, so you don't have to worry about it. Why am I shooting at them? I'm shooting out the back to break out the back and then have it.
And you know what, Brian? Not even if the gun, 3 men in the back kicking out those woods gonna kick open that door. It'll kick open the break open the wood. 3 men. 1 could probably do it. You know what I mean?
Like,
especially after you shoot it 3 times. Shoot it 3 times and put a foot on it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, like that's fact. But see, here's the thing. Even though I feel like from a tactical standpoint, the fact that you had a lot of soldiers in there and they didn't think, let's all focus on this one part so we can break out and come around and lay them all out. I was like, you know what? From a writing standpoint, based upon what they did and the idea of panic and screams, I feel was way more impactful. Because if they would have did the smart thing, you know, have them focus up and use their tactics and come out and kill him, I feel like that would have been a more cheer-worthy moment. Like, yeah, the black people got him. Versus, oh my God. See, oh my God makes more headlines. I think.
What would you feel? You know, now remember, who's in the woods? So how would you feel if they gave the respect to the black people, that they're in the military, they could come together, they could figure out what the hell they're doing, they shoot out the back, and now there's this type of standoff with the white people, right?
Right.
But who's out in the woods? Pennywise.
Yeah,
How would you feel if Pennywise starts just ripping up all the black people, then going and rip off the white people? Would you feel better if at the end of the day everyone is dead and the kids, like, even the kids are dying because of the stuff, the smoke, except for, you know, Marge and the same people that lived? If it happened the same way, but Pennywise ripped both sides up.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. That's a great question. But see, after we gonna get to that part that I don't like, because what they did to my boy, I'm not even gonna watch the finale because that's my boy. He didn't deserve that. I was like, you gonna let the one-eyed bitch live, the demon? But we gonna get to that. But no, I was like, nah, we not playing that game. Sometimes in life, I felt like I couldn't breathe and the fire was getting to me. They did that to my boy. I know you have some humans like, oh well, some predicted. Look here. I don't care who predicted that something may have happened, but it was the way that it happened. Because you don't necessarily know the way. And when we get to that, like, I'm telling you, I'm not going to watch the finale.
So I get what you're saying, Brian, too, but we know the black people them had to die, right? For the book and everything. So I get it, right? They had to do it, and they died in the fire.
They could have died from Pennywise, and also would have allowed is for Pennywise to kill all those white people that started all this stuff.
So that's why I think that in the final episode, and I said it on the stream, I want to see Pennywise rip every single one of them racist white dudes apart in the final episode, like one by one, right? Because we know the major ones, like there's background characters, but we know the major ones that were in that room. So Pennywise needs to kill every single one of them in the next episode, 100%.
So give us that moment. Pennywise snatches all the kids, takes them underneath that thing, and said, "I'll be right back," and he goes around tormenting the town, killing every single one of them.
Yes, wiping them out. That's why I think Mike said this show is making him cheer for Pennywise. I get what you're saying.
He does
now,
that.
Mike. Yeah.
He does that. I also be like, "Let's go."
Yeah, me too. Me too.
They had to see. See, everybody like, "Oh man, this show is great." And it was great until they did that to my boy. I'm not gonna let that go. Like, we let him get away with that.
Well, that part is coming up soon. Rest in peace, Rich. It said Pennywise had that meat cleaver. Exactly. Right. So they end up walking out. Nobody follows them. Next thing you know, it's chained up, and they start throwing in cocktails in there, and they are just lighting it up on fire. Now, here's a scene that I got to ask you, right? Was Hallorann trying to dip?
Oh, hell, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely. He got to be in The Shining. He was just like, I got another movie to be in. I can't be burning to death with these individuals. So
he ain't got no kids. Those are not his kids. He didn't drop them off at the black spot and leave them. So, hey, my kids.
Right. And also the most important aspect that we cannot gloss over. He told them that shit was dumb as hell to bring Hank there. Nobody listened to Hallorann. They don't want to listen. Hallorann, he knows things. And it just, but even without using some sort of premonition abilities, it's common sense that if somebody is being hunted, if they're hated and accused of something with children, you don't want them in the general vicinity. You don't want to be within 10 some odd miles of that person.
It was hard to watch this though, right?
Yeah, 100%. So Hallorann, he starts seeing dead peoples, and then he sees the native woman, which I think was a great callback to the flashback episode with Shaw and Rose, right? Where they talked about her mom, because when they flash back to him seeing her. Now, my question is, she kind of, and they say she leads him to the final shard piece, but was that what she was really doing for this reason? And if that's the case, then why? Right? Why would she lead him there knowing that this is what was going to happen with the army taking the shard? I don't know. Hopefully, we'll get some information on that in the next episode. But you guys have any ideas of why she did that?
To kill the white people.
Facts.
mean,
You know what?
There's not one Native American that's in trouble. None of her people are in trouble. She sees what's going on. She said, "All right, you will be stupid. Let's let you be stupid."
Sure. I think that's one of the more obvious reasons. It's 99.9%. That's exactly what it is. But my thing is, when it comes to these spirits, so to speak, where those that shine, they're able to see them. Most of the time, they're not helpful just to be helpful. Usually, they're trying to kill you or terrify you, as we've seen. So a lot of times there seem to be other intentions, even if it might appear like, unless this one happens to be very different from all the other ones that I've seen from The Shining and Doctor Sleep, it was always like, hey, ignore them. Don't let them see you. Don't let them do nothing about nothing because they can drain your life force. Mm-hmm. So I want to see if they're going to explain why that one is different, or is it just, oh, surprise, you know, and then they do some crazy stuff. Is actually what I suspected. You know,
was it also because of how she sacrificed herself? Remember in the flashback, she didn't just die; like she died saving everybody, putting it together. Right. So she's there dead, but she's there with honor, and her people still feed into her. She's not like a lost spirit. So I think that she's different than a lot of other ones.
Yeah, sure, I agree with you. I think it's possibly there to help. I think we'll get more information in the next episode as to why that happening, hopefully, right? But, you know, during the fire, it happens. Pennywise shows up. Mm-hmm. And Pennywise is just being Pennywise. Just, why are you taking his hand?
Because, I can't blame a human for taking his hand, because look, you got
what the white guys just did. You have a white clown trying to say, "Take my hand."
But see the thing. Okay, look, everybody's burning up and screaming, heads getting blown off. It's like that can't be that much worse. That's probably what the humans think.
Where the fuck did this clown come from? Right? We've been partying here all night, and all of a sudden this clown pops up here and it's not worried about nothing going on around here.
Look, I don't care where the clown came from. If we trapped and burning and getting shot at, I'd be like, "Hello, sir. What can we do? You gotta do something."
Of course you would.
Of course you would. How the hell do I get out of here? Because I shouldn't have been here anyway. And
100%.
I'll be looking at my gun. They're literally looking at their gun and like throwing it.
100%. And you know what? To be honest with you, I'm on Halloran's side. Fuck them kids. I'm gone. You know what I mean? They ain't my kids. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Terrence, don't even pretend, Terrence. Don't even pretend, Terrence, because I already know how you are about them kids. All right? We
justice for Rich. Like I can't. That was my boy. Right?
Wow.
He was playing the drums and stuff. It was like I took a liking to him. You know, he was like my son and stuff. So then,
guys, next week I am going to find my clips that when we did the Walking Dead stuff, how many times Terrence said "fuck them kids." All right, I'm gonna remind you guys. I'm gonna pull that out there and like, all right, Terrence, Richie's your boy, but remember this, right? All right, I remember that. So,
but brother Anzo, but Rich is built different though. He's so likable and charming and stuff and cool. And
Pennywise is eating this face, and we see the white people outside. They're watching the place burn. Now,
look at him, no expressions except for this dude. Like, look at this bitch. He just like, oh man, I shouldn't have done. No,
No, he's upset. He wants to see Hank dead because his kids, his boys.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both. He wants to see Hank dead, but I feel like he's also internalizing the cruelty that he did.
He did, me too.
Because he's a parent, or he was. You know, his kids dead or something. But
I don't think he even knew the kids were there, so I think he just still wanted to kill them. He still has bloodlust.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying, like a lot of times, even though humans are trash and they do cruel things, there's only going to be so many of them that could just sit there with no expression, like the rest of them. And then you see somebody fidgeting and stuff. And I'm like, Yeah, see, you're trash because you made that choice, but you wasn't as hard as you thought you were. You know, that kind of stuff.
You're gonna find out he's gonna say he regret what he did and stuff like that. He's like, that's not me or something like that. You know what I mean?
Not me.
No, I feel you.
Both
Danny
his kids
said-
died. His kids died. His son and his daughter are dead. He wants to kill everyone. I don't think any regret. His only regret is that he didn't see Hank die with his own 2 hands.
Oh, sure, yeah. No, I think that's more likely what it is. But I'm just saying, like when the camera was focusing on all the white humans, they just was let them burn, and it just I don't know. It just he seems to have more emotion. So like I can definitely picture him going, "We shouldn't have did it, y'all. It wasn't right," and then they end up killing him because they don't want him to snitch on them. I could see that. Like, and actually, I would cheer for that, not because he's trying to be nice, but because it would end up with him getting wrecked for what he did to the black people. So the more of them that drop for different reasons, I'm all for that.
So I'm gonna say this real quick, and I said I wasn't gonna say anything, but I'm telling you, Brian, that is regret on his face. And if I was you, I would take my advice because I'm always right. I'm just saying.
Even when you're right, it's technicality. It's like, oh, they didn't say it, so it gotta be that way. No. This dude,
it's not really a technicality.
Put yourself in that situation. Your daughter and your son died in the fire, murdered, and you believe her murderer is in there. You think you're distraught over we shouldn't have done this to these people? I didn't know any kids are in there. They don't know the kids are in there.
Yeah,
I should have done this to these people.
But some people have moral values, right? And they may
don't
think
have moral values. What did he say later in here? He says later, he's like, I want to see his body. I want to see Hank. He said, I want to see Hank's body. I want to know Hank is actually dead. I want to know that. That's what he says. Yeah, so I don't think he's not distraught over what he did.
You can still regret doing what you're doing, right? And they must have known the kids were there because they all were inside when the kids were inside there. They seen the kids in there.
Right,
and
they
even seen the white girl.
They were in the
yeah, and they even seen the white girl in there and was like, "Get out!" Right? But they left there. So as a father, you're like,
And also, I wanted to add, there's a difference between wanting to kill the man that you think is responsible for taking your kids versus a whole entire group that had
innocent people.
I think you guys are thinking like us and not thinking like them. So
no, I'm just saying, like, you know, either way that they play it up, whether it's just 100%, you know, like you're saying, Brian, that he just wanted to kill him, fine. I'm like, I get it. But if it's also, if we get a scene where it shows that he's regretting taking out those other individuals, I would also understand that too, just because he seems to be so finicky, whether it is one way or not. The problem is, I just noticed that he's finicky. Whatever that reason may be, I guess we might find out soon, maybe.
Yeah, we'll probably find out in the next episode. And maybe not, to be honest with you, right? But they got so much to wrap up in the next episode. It's going to be interesting to see how they do that, right? So we have, you know, Halligan. He's trying to get everybody out, and he finds a little, well, didn't find it. The fridge was leaking, so the wood under the fridge was weak. But like Brian said, if you would have shot some of the walls, you would have weakened the wood and been able to have gotten out of there. So I get that 100% because he was able to kick open the board on the bottom and was able to open up that hole to get under there. So he puts Hank, his daughter, and Will in there, and he decides he's going to go back for Richie and Marge. Marge?
Yeah, Marge.
Marge, that's it. Yeah, right. You go back for Richie and Marge, and then something falls in and of course blocks them in, and then we get one of the this was tough, man, because Richie, I think we all kind of predicted that Richie was going to be the one to die, but Richie went out like a G. All right, he protected the woman that he loved. And spitting game. Yes.
Hey, so I know we gotta break this down, but sometime like we gotta go past.
Here we go, Terry.
See, look. To me, Marge, remember I said she gonna redeem when she die. But guess what?
I know.
Die. She is alive. I'm like, so it's fine for her to be alive, but then we lose Rich. I'm like, what kind of shit is that? That's not a fair trade to me.
I knew you wouldn't like that. I knew you wouldn't like that.
But the way he did, so what one of the biggest movies of all time is Titanic. And Rose couldn't get off the damn door. It's big ass door, this big 12-foot door, and she couldn't get off the damn door. She was like, oh, so Leo had to die and freeze in the damn ocean. All right. Rich actually, so what he put Marge in there, and they really couldn't fit in there. And then he stayed, he hugged on top of it to make sure she wouldn't push off. And he talked to her sweetly the entire time. That was amazing. He told her, he went out telling the woman he loved that I love you, and got the I love you too before he died. It was so hard to see. And the fact that there's not one adult that saw them there, man, that just blows my mind.
And when he told her the story about school, where you were wearing this and you had the rope around your finger, the string around your finger, and she was like, oh, you remember that? He was like, yes, I do. Oh my. And big up to that little kid that is playing Rich. Amazing job in that scene. Hey, Marge did an amazing job too. I felt her emotion too. You know what I mean? I think this part of the show was the best part of this episode. These two actors doing what they did. These young actors doing what they did.
Okay. Number one, I can't stand Titanic. The only thing I like about that movie is the end. Everybody died. The ending, when everybody started dying, that's the best part of the movie. But to me, Marge don't deserve that. Like, I don't care. Rich was like, hey, we can both fit in here. And I was like, cool, yep, they both gonna make it. And then when she got in there, she was like, wait a minute, it's only God, he just closed the lid. I was like, don't you do it, Rich. She don't deserve it, Rich. Like, I didn't like that, even though, like you said, his acting and stuff. I'm like, man, so you gonna say to her that you love her? She don't deserve no love. She deserves all them flames and then some for what she did. So I was feeling something different when I watched that scene. To me, I was just like, don't do it, Rich. I was like, okay, well, Rich gonna be okay. So the adult Hallorann gonna come back in and save him. I thought he was gonna be fine.
She redeemed herself to me. You know why? Because it started when she was first going to set up Lilly and she didn't do it. And she was about to tell her the truth and she was crying. Then Pennywise fucked with her and her eyes popped out, right? You had that scene. Then she went to the hospital and told everybody that Lilly tried to save her and help her instead of throwing her under the bus. Well, she didn't do anything anyways, but you know what I mean? People thought she was crazy already. Right. So she could have got kudo points with that with her friends and that one as well. And then when she did the eye thing and made the girl choke on her gum and throw up and everything, I'm like, you know what? You can get redeemed for that. You can get redeemed for that. And she got redeemed for that. And then this happens. And and hold on. And I think she is going to go buck wild on Pennywise at one point in the last episode. I don't know how. But she's going because they're gonna hurt him and make him go back to sleep. Some of them, and I think the kids are gonna have a major role in that, right? Because they're obviously gonna want to go save Will. I think she's gonna go buck wild on Pennywise in the last episode.
See, no. See, to me, when the fire was happening, I was like, good. When she died, then I'm gonna forgive her. That was my mindset. I was like, I will forgive you because that's a sad situation. Sometimes in life you got to burn in the flames to get that redemption, rise from the ashes. I mean, she ain't gonna rise from shit, but it's just the idea of the expression. But to me, when you have someone as wholesome as Rich, I just feel like he could have did better, and that, he didn't have to do that. I was like, he should have just gotten in himself and left her out there. If he would have did that, I'd have been like A triple plus.
But you see, there's no other death that would have been as emotional as Richie's, so I get why they did that. Danny said, 3 brothers talking about a clown in a fire. What's wrong with this picture? Absolutely nothing. You know why? Because these brothers like good shows. We don't sit around watching Boba Fett.
What's wrong with this picture, Danny?
He says, say it ain't so. Hank has spoiled the shit out of Ronnie. He can't do nothing without her pulling his arms. Yeah, I get that. There are no morals in Derry. Yeah, I feel you. They renewed for 2 seasons already. Great. It should be 100%. The show is great.
We're going to get 1908 and 1930, whatever.
Yes, yes. 1930 and then 1908. So I got a little emotional. Rest in peace, Richie. You are a real one. Absolutely. I cried like a baby. I know. I could tell. It was very emotional. Yes, it was. Hey, Monique, how you doing? Thank you for
Hey,
popping
Monique.
in. Much appreciated.
That's okay. Y'all talking about like it's to greenlit for 2 more seasons. No. To me, it ended when they did that to Rich. I'm like, to me, that's where the canon ended, and then that's the end. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you relive the.
I ate you.
Yeah,
Damn right.
I like how he was literally thinking like, damn, what should I
Yeah.
tell you?
Yeah. It was like,
That was
wait,
the best thing he could have said at that point.
Facts. That delusional B needs to be cleavered. Yes, 100%. Because we get, and I think we all knew it, but we get the confirmation that not only, right, did she tell them where Hank was, she also told them where he was the first time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she has been setting this
She
up
set him up
since,
the whole time.
Since the beginning. Yeah.
Humans. So like, hey, we got to give Pennywise props because when he gave her that hug, he was about to eat her, and then he kind of, you saw some restraint. And I feel like it wasn't until she grabbed his arm, like trying to be commanding and authoritative, that he was just like, "Excuse me, have you not seen these movies and shit? I'm Pennywise." And he just like checked her. I love it.
Yep. Pennywise had the itis. 100%. Exactly. Her raggedy ass. Yeah. You know what I mean? Anyways, he ends up giving her the lights and she goes up in the air, but he leaves her there because we ended up seeing her getting pulled out in a stretcher later on. I just found that kind of weird. So I wonder what's going to happen to her. Is she going to go absolutely
He reached his
crazy?
So he sent her to the mental hospital. He said, I'll see you later.
And pretty much she did help him. So I think that's probably the one thing where that would get you to be spared by him, because we saw that in real time. He did spare her twice, technically.
Yeah. You're right. Maybe he figured she could still be useful to him, I'm guessing. But by the time the next cycle come around, she'd either be dead or like 90 years old or something like that.
So he won't be able to trick her the same way, because now she knows that, well, that's not her dad. So he would have to have a different approach if he can do it.
Tony said she cared more about Pennywise than the BBC. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, when you're in action, you think of one thing, but once it's over, we all come back to reality.
She was thinking about it when she was writing it, but as soon as she got off, then she was all about destroying black people's lives. So you know what
So we get them now. This is another part where Brian was like, "This is kind of stupid too," because they let the kids go right back into this place that they just a wooden place. And wood, bro, right? It could collapse at any time, same way. They let the kids just mosey on back in there and look around like nothing.
Dude, they're walking around and seeing the kids like, man, oh, that's fucked up. And not saying, like, let's cover their face. Let's not let them see all this stuff. There's trauma everywhere. They're like, oh, yeah, let the little white girl go ahead and hug the corpse. What? As they walk around.
How messed up was it that they not only saw Rich like that, but it was like they started hugging him like that? That shit was tragic as fuck. I was like, man.
Make you tear up, T?
No. What it did was it made me mad. It made me so mad, I'm not going to continue the show. Like, to me, the canon is over. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, so she gets in there, they hug Richie, and it's a very emotional moment where they all start hugging him. You know, they're crying and everything.
Were you guys waiting for him to wake up? Like, get up.
Stand up. Yeah, I was. No, Brian, I was. I'm telling you, I thought it was going to be like, I would have been like, yes, best show ever. Like,
unfortunately, he doesn't wake up. And then they're outside. And this girl, I think she, right? Because she's just sitting there laughing and probably can't figure out what happened anymore. So yeah, she's going crazy.
I think I know what happened, Anzo.
Go ahead.
So, number one, she saw a bunch of death and carnage. You know, she was chilling up in there with the black people, and there's not that many black people in Derry. So I guess she realized she ain't gonna get none, and it just drove her to insanity. So that's how cool we are. You know, the ladies know what time it is. When they know that they can't get any, and then they see a bunch of death and carnage, it drive a lot of females insane.
Said no, you can look in his eyes. The lights were out. Yeah, 100%. We knew Richie wasn't gonna get back up. Now, it's gonna be messed up because I have a feeling Pennywise is gonna take the form of Richie in one scene in the next episode to mess with these
that'll
kids.
be messed
I
up.
have a feeling he's gonna do it. I have a feeling.
That is why I'm not watching the finale. I am not.
Bro.
Oh my god! Can you imagine? Wait, go ahead.
So parents just still in bed sleeping, I guess. Exactly. We're gonna get into
No
that.
parent matters. I'm not mad at any other parent because they don't know their kids are out. Except Charlotte.
creepy.
She drove them.
Mm-hmm.
She dropped them off. She
Mhm.
knows he's out in the club. All up in the club at 2 in the morning. This is what's going on. And you still okay? And you know what, Hank? You don't miss it. Not Hank. Leroy. You don't miss it either. You don't miss it either because she told you about everything that was going on. Y'all two are the two worst parents of all time.
We're gonna get it to Hank too, because Hank is absolutely 100% to blame as well. Right? Said after what she went through, I'd be laughing too. No, I feel you. She was in shock. Huh? She was in shock. Yeah, she was in shock. I get it, 100%. But
laughs like the Joker after, so I'm like, no, that is 100%. You never leave the asylum. This is coming from a dude that was in the asylum. No, you never. No.
And then you get to the final emotional scene where they're taking out Richie and they see his hand and they put his hand back up there and they start hugging. And then we get
boo. And I like him too, but that's a boo moment. Forget him. No.
So wait,
what the hell you coming in now, bro?
You telling me you left your kids there all freaking night?
Right. And you didn't send a whole platoon to check on your son. Like he should have been coming like the Delta Force, like that movie with Chuck Norris when they sent everybody. That's what it should have been.
No, I'm gonna assume that they didn't know that the white people them came to the place and did what they did. I'm gonna assume
Doesn't matter.
that, right?
You left your son
the kids
at a
there
club
all night. Yes, exactly. You are
Correct.
absolutely right, Brian. It doesn't matter. You left your kids there all night. You're coming in the morning?
No
The
black
morning?
parent. No black parent. I don't care
Don't
what
get me
time
wrong.
period it is. No black parent would do that.
I'm still more
None.
mad at Charlotte because she dropped them off.
Yes,
Well, she
100%.
She drove Will up
Yes.
to the club,
Yes.
left them there, and then come back to check.
Yes.
Sure.
And then,
But
and then Leroy came home and then say, "Where's Will?"
Yes.
no, the parents really ain't shit. See, before watching this show, to me, the most they ain't shit parents was Kevin McAllister's parents in the first two Home Alone films. Because I'm like, you can't do that shit twice. But these parents, though, they make those parents seem like the best parents in the world.
So we can be mad at those parents too, not just Charlotte. Yeah, they all get it. They all get it.
Them too, but Charlotte
Yeah.
drove them.
Yeah, Charlotte drove them there. Not only did she drive them there, she left them there all night. Where did she go? Where did she go? Said, hold up. Have y'all seen the sneak peek of the Street Fighter movie? No, I did not. I did not. I'll definitely check that. No, she didn't. They rode their bikes.
The other kids, Will came there with Ronnie.
Right.
Yeah, Will. Yeah.
And remember, Charlotte drove them there.
Yeah. She picked them up off of the
Her
street,
son,
and then she
he
said,
dropped
"Yeah."
off the damn club.
Yeah.
Right.
She picked them up off of the streets, and she said, "You too, Missy. I got something to show you." And then she took them over there. It's so bad that I think it's gonna be a masterpiece. Yeah, I doubt that. But all the parents in this series ain't ish. No, I agree with you 100%. I don't disagree with that. Every single parent, you have to know where your kids are, right? What are you doing? You're going to sleep at nighttime, not checking on your kids?
So with that said, right, I know both you guys are parents and stuff. I am not, but I'll tell you this. Even when I'm with friends or I'm with the brother, somebody I care about, they leave, it's just like common communication and let us know where you are when you're coming back. If there's just a twinkling of something wrong, we loading up, hopping in the car. So if it's your kids, it's even more so. That goes without saying. I feel like that's parent 101, that you always check on your kids. You always know where your kids are. And if you feel anything wrong or out of place, you hop in that damn car and you speed and break all the laws of the road to get to your child.
If I ever
100%.
look in my children's room, they're supposed to be in their room, and it's past 9 o'clock at night, I'll murder everybody trying to find my child.
See?
No one in town is going to be out there. No, the police are going to be out there. I won't be out there with shotguns. We're going to find my kid.
See?
Absolutely. 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe later. Right now we're gonna try and get through this little reaction to Prom soon, and maybe at the end said oh yeah, okay, there, right there. He said, I
Street
think
Fighter again? Damn it.
I think that was the day before because Ronnie didn't go to school the next day.
He might be.
It was the next day. Okay, so you're saying they came back the next
that Will
day?
came back by himself. That's what we're saying.
The next day?
Because what's his name? Marge came there by them with
Rich.
Rich. Yeah.
So they came by themselves.
Right.
Yeah. I'd have to check that out. I go back and remember. It's possible that was gonna happen. It's possible, right? But we get to Hallorann and Leroy, and he is just going through it. He is seeing all the people that died in the fire, plus some, and he looked like he was on the verge of taking his own life. Something he can't handle. He's been trying to, hold these demons back or these visions back for so long, and Pennywise he talked to one of them, and now they all know. Said Will, Rich, and Marge came on bikes. I got you. Said either way, they shouldn't have been there. Facts.
So you know what? It'd be cool to kind of see Hallorann, do something mental with Pennywise. Like imagine we see him, create the multiple boxes, like how he taught Danny in the Doctor Sleep more specifically, where so imagine that. And we see him do something to scare Pennywise, and then that leads to everybody else doing something. I think that'd be cool for Hallorann, just to show.
Well, I think he's gonna get it together. You know what I mean? Because if you look at his character in The Shining, right, it looks like he has it together pretty much. So I think he's gonna get it back together. He's just going through it right now. You know what I mean? Like he is
not be going through it right now.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah,
but I mean,
100%.
do you guys think like they might have him like do something really beast like in the final moments, like for his character, or do you think it's gonna take him a while to bounce back?
I think he shuts the box again. It's a new box. He learns how to shut the box and lock it up.
Yeah, I think he's definitely gonna do something, and because the way that looks like the fight is gonna be the army men, right? It's gonna be the kids, and then you're gonna have Leroy, his wife, and the kids. So I think he's gonna be a part of that group. I think he's gonna do something at least to help them defeat Pennywise.
What about the Native Americans? You don't think they're gonna get involved?
Rose probably will.
Rose
She's
will.
gonna keep everyone else kind of at distance because she has to protect.
What about Taniel? What if he like sacrifices himself to save Rose or something?
You know what? I think
I don't know if Rose will want him to do that.
No, I think Rose might be the one to do the sacrifice because Taniel has to be the one to carry on to protection, right?
Yep.
So if anything, I think it would be Rose that had to do that.
Because Rose is going to make another 27 years.
I think from a writing standpoint, both can work, but it's just that, like, if you notice from the movies, what we've seen, and even the TV movie, like the kids tend to do stuff. So even though Taniel's not like a kid, he's still younger than Rose. That's the only reason why I said it that way. But I can also see it where, Rose does something as well. I just think that you're going to have some of the Native Americans there, whether it be Rose and Taniel or the rest of them. Like, I feel like they're going to get involved in some way because how can they not? Especially this whole like, oh, well, I'll see you in 27 years. Nah, not if he woke up. I'm like, you got to come back.
So they have a little conversation in the car, and he decides he's gonna finish his mission. Another problem that I had with that, you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean you're gonna finish your mission, bro? No, take your family and get the fuck out of there. Let these white people fend for themselves after what they just did. You want to go and finish the mission now, bruh?
No,
Okay,
because he was thinking very holistically about the mission. He thought the mission was to put Pennywise in a smaller jail cell, basically, make it much smaller. That's what they all said was going to happen. So he's thinking, this is for the good of my family, this is good for everybody. If we get this clown who's already done all his murder into this jail, he didn't realize that he was the fool.
So I want to say this because we're on stream, Anzo. So you know, like how you always hear me say, okay, the training is the most important thing and all this kind of stuff, right? If you're with me in a situation, I feel like you're gonna be the priority. So I'm gonna want to get you and myself to safety. Like that would be the most important thing because you're family to me. So like how you said. The idea like something happens and then you got to take your family and get out of there, then that's what it is. And then Brian, you're a friend, so if you're with me, I would want to make sure that we get out of there too. Like to me, that would be much more important than the idea of like, hey, let me do my job. The job don't really matter if we all die. That's all I'm saying.
I thought he was gonna say,
I will knock you out and drag your ass out.
I thought he was gonna say, Brian, you're a fan, so you gotta go. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So you think Rose and Tanya will both die, or you think they'll both survive? Because that's interesting if you kill both of them.
I think because Tanya's supposed to that's her lineage ending, and she's the only direct connection to the chief, right? So because that was her mother. So I think that Tanya lives. Rose dies because Tanya has to continue with watching after them.
Damn, hey, imagine like how messed up Tanya would be mentally. Like, okay, so the other Native Americans that left, they're gonna have the most beast moment. It's gonna be the shards. They're gonna start glowing like Super Saiyans, levitating and shit. And then we're gonna see Maturin show up for the first time, a big ass turtle in the sky. And then Tanya has to watch all of them die, and he's like the last one.
That's crazy. We get to them having a conversation. They're talking about how many people died at the Black Spot. They say 23, and then 17 kids, 17 young souls that he got. So, yeah, he did his thing, and he's 40. About to go to sleep. Yep. And now he's about to take his sleep, right? So they're like, okay, well, we'll be back in another 27 years. The only problem is
that old man thing. I'll be back in 27 years. You ain't gonna be around on 27 years, brother. Let's be honest. You 70 years old right now.
You know what though? Let's give them a pass though. Native Americans, I feel like whenever it comes to the supernatural, they just live longer for some reason. It's like they gotta stay alive to fight whatever that is. It's like a fictional thing.
At 97, what are you gonna do?
Like Brian said, he ain't gonna be around for 27 years. So
Hey, he probably got the lichen gene for all we know. He gonna turn into a werewolf, supernatural.
Okay.
I know.
So she's feeling really emotional because of what happened. But now we get to the army guys, and they're looking for the shard. Yep, and we knew not to trust them. Halligan is still seeing the native lady, so we find out that they're still looking for the shard. Charlotte gets a call, and she says she is going to bounce because they're going. Oh, hold on, I gotta play this part just so you guys know. Hold on. Where do they plan to take her?
Neighbors wondering what a dead man's doing walking down my driveway.
I mean, you think they'll notice? I don't exactly look like Mr. Hanlon.
In this.
Okay, I must have missed it.
Unless you want fire last night.
Scene. Well, anyways, she's trying to take him to Montreal. You know what I mean? That's why, trying to take him to Canada, where it's safe. Sorry, American, but
it's too cold to do anything. Hey, you can't be gangster out there in 8 feet of snow and negative 50 degrees. Out there, gangster. No, man, you ain't doing no damn gangster.
The white people, they wouldn't have been going to no cabin in Canada. They just would have been cold as fuck. Probably got killed by the snow. Like
you try to light a cross on fire, put it in the front yard. She just falls down into the snow. You're good to go. You can't do nothing.
Now, Charlotte And it's funny because here's the problem, right? For the whole season, we were like, these are horrible parents, right? She finally puts her foot down and tells Will to stay home. But this is the wrong time to tell Will to stay home. After everything you've seen, you don't take him out of your sight.
Why aren't you leaving? Why does this man matter more to you than your kid?
Facts.
Don't make no sense. I'm like, this is some white people shit. What the hell you mean stay home? It should be grabbing them by the arm, putting them in there, strapping them down at this point. I'm like, all this death, destruction, all this supernatural, humans have all these stories about what they saw that ain't there, and you gonna tell your child on the damn near the finale to stay at home? No.
She didn't read the script for episode 8. That's the problem.
Facts.
So yeah, they have a big argument. She tells him to stay home. Hank actually says that Ronnie is not supposed to leave either. And then the next scene, we see Ronnie outside.
Running through the town. Look
Fuck
at
these
you're
kids.
strong parents. I wish my kids would.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, first off, fuck these kids, right? Because now, the one time Will listens to his parents, he gets screwed. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get it. Listen, paying a parent ain't easy. 100% is not easy. But at the same time, So they go to see Lilly, and Lilly looks like she is 100% possessed with that shard that she has. Now, that shard is going to be the shard that they use to replace the one that gets destroyed in this episode, right?
But definitely.
So you know why she looks possessed. She's white. If that had been a Native American, it would have been a glow up like a Super Saiyan. They're not supposed. See, they know what time it is. They're like, if you're Pennywise or you're white, go ahead and pick up the shard and watch what happens to you. I think that's what that's about.
Man, they kept it in a little cloth. They knew not to grab the stuff directly. Why do you grab these stuff from outer space directly? I mean, did Meteor Man not teach you anything? You don't grab it directly.
Meteor
Man.
Stephen King loves the kids. Fact.
Yeah, you love to kill the kids and torture them.
Charlotte never encountered the supernatural of it, so she's a little blind with that, but will be tagging along with me. Yeah, because either or, right? And I'm not just thinking because of the it, right? But you had these white people that literally tried to burn down a place that you were in, so I'm not leaving you out of my sight.
When Hank was about to get shot that first time, she saw Pennywise through the door, and she saw him waving and stuff like that.
Right.
Wasn't that the first time she kind of?
Yeah, and then but he vanished like he was Batman. No. See,
he disappeared on her.
Yeah. She wouldn't have known it was Pennywise though. It looked
but she knew that this dude was there, and then he disappeared.
That something happened.
She also had her husband say first hand
supernatural stuff.
The river was out there happening. And it happened to her son, and so they're coming after your son. So
agreed.
If you care about your kid, why not get them out of the damn town?
Well, here's the thing, though. She's not blind. She's stupid. I'm like, there is no smart parent that wouldn't take heed to what's happening. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes you don't have to have all the pieces of the puzzle. Just having certain pieces is enough for you to make smart, calculated decisions. She's made a bunch of dumbass decisions the entire time.
And listen, I don't want you guys to think we just passed in Charlotte because Hank did the same fucking thing. He let them go, and he knows more than anybody else. So for one, he didn't exactly just tell Charlotte everything that absolutely happened, which he should have done. Like, this is what's going on.
Initially, he did. It looks like he has now, but initially he did not. But also, I believe Charlotte told Hank everything that was going on too. With told Leroy about Hank. And she said this shit. So I feel like they are starting to share with each other. They're just bad parents, and they have no idea. They're not taking care of their kid, which should be their first thought.
These black characters are acting white because they're making a lot of dumbass decisions. Like, I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying, Monique. It's like he explained it, but he didn't explain it enough where it's like, listen, there's this entity that is taking people's fear And he like you break
So
down
she explained.
everything
I
you
think
know
she
at that
explained it
point.
now. Because when they got back in there, they got back in the car. I think they explained things to each other really well, but they're still stupid.
Yeah, because you don't leave each other at this point. You're a family union. You're not leaving my side. I'm not leaving your side. We are packing our shit and we are getting the fuck out of here. And we are letting these white people deal with this situation themselves. You know what I mean? Nah, bro, we getting out of here.
Right. And even with missing information, that's still your child. You're supposed to look after your child, like I've been saying from the beginning. As someone that doesn't even have kids, there's nothing more important than your children if you have them.
And you know what else? The further they get away from Derry, they won't remember shit. So I'm good. I'm good with that. I am good with that.
So why did we leave here again?
Yeah, exactly. You know.
See, that's heartbreaking right there. Like, imagine Anzo, like, you left me to die in the woods, and then you don't even remember that. That'd be heartbreaking. Yep.
So they get back.
Told you to get in the car. You didn't get in.
100%. That's not my fault. We get back to them talking to Lilly, breaking down that Rich had passed away, and then we get to the clubhouse, wherever on top of the building, and she's like, "Oh, he never got it to Main Street." And then they give a big old hug and another emotional moment. And I will tell you that this episode was tugging at the emotional shit for real, though. You know
brother,
what I mean?
Can you go back to the Marge with the plane? Because I want to say something about it.
Yes.
So
I know what we're gonna say, T, but go ahead.
So when she said that, I felt bad for her in that moment when she said that.
Oh wow! Okay.
Because before then it was like, yeah, let her die, yeah. But it's just because you're thinking about Rich. It's like in that moment you can tell that she really liked him too. Because with me, I kind of was on the fence. I'm like, I get it, but it just seemed like they were spending a lot of time together. The emotions build, but sometimes that could be fleeting, and it's not really as authentic as someone may think. But
she
away
her
from
son,
him,
Rich.
But in this moment though, because she's away from him and she specifically remembers something that intimate, then that's what solidified it for me. Because I'm all about the idea of context and what's happening within the details. I'm like, man, I heard the pain, away from him. So I was like, wow, that's sad.
Maybe I missed something.
Whoa, what the hell?
Damn.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it, guys. He
What'd
just
you do,
popped out of there.
Aldo?
I don't know. He said maybe I missed something and bounced. Shit. He said Hank can't tell Ronnie ish when he's supposed to be dead, so that is limited at this point. No, I didn't mean Hank. If I said Hank, I meant Leroy. I meant the conversation with Leroy and his wife. You know what I mean, with Charlotte, where I think that he never communicated what was happening enough. Like he should have broke down every single thing, right? Every single thing, so that she has all of the information. Now, Brian's right. They may have had that conversation in the car, but I don't know. To me, it kind of seemed like he didn't really tell her everything,
What did Brian do? Like, you got rid of him quick?
It wasn't me. I didn't do that. He just said, I think, and then bounced. Probably had you see, this is what happens when you don't pay your hydro bill. You get kicked out of a stream. You know what I mean?
No. Well, first of all, what the hell is hydro? Second of all, it asked me for a code to get back into your own stream. I'm like, what code?
Really?
It kicked me out and said, enter code, please. I was like, what?
What?
I'm like,
I legit thought that Anzo like had kicked you out with the time, and I was like, damn, like, all right.
I'm sitting there like, man, he asked me for a code. Like, what? I can't get in. I can't say what I want to know.
Well, what code did you put in?
It didn't work, so I had to go back out.
Oh shit! Really? That's weird.
I had to go back out, and then, but yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Pennywise.
I was gonna say the Chinese, but whatever.
Damn. No.
That's what I was going to say. But my question is, how the hell did that airplane get here?
Yeah, right.
Did no one's questioning? Well, how does we saw Richie throw the airplane and go down to the sewer, and I was just sitting there in their clubhouse, and they're like, "Oh, look at this damn airplane! What the hell's wrong?"
No, I thought about that, but because you know, like I was saying about her emotion, I was more focused on that because you know I've been the thrower off the cliff, you know, fuck Marge and all this stuff. So within that moment, she was able to win me over. I'm like, okay, well, you know, she does care, you know. So with me, I just
wait, hold on, T. Because you knew this, you watched the episode, so you knew this before. But earlier, you kept saying she still needs to die. So you think she still needs to die?
Nah. You know, if but mind you, you know, I'm trying to move like you know with the breakdown and stuff. But it's just in that content, I was just nah, get that. But it's just
I got you.
You know, at the time when I was watching it, because my friends were looking at me when Marge was talking about the plane, and I was just like, yeah, that's some sad shit. Like, all right, fine.
Wow.
She, you know, I'm not mad at her anymore, but you know, it took a minute.
Maybe there's two of them up there.
He had more than one up there because he did it twice with the plane. Yeah,
I saw that he went out and found it. I just
I'm pretty sure they had more than one because it's not the first time he shot the plane. Yeah. So it's possible that there was more than one. It's just that, you know what I mean? It's like coincidence that it happens to be there because they haven't been back there since.
When did he come back up there with no more planes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I feel you. Nitpicking, but I just get it. I get where Brian's coming from.
So now y'all got me thinking about this stuff. Like it's gonna be Rich walking up, like, "Hey, Marge, I didn't get to read you this poem." Like, "Oh, Rich, you made it!" And then she's gonna hug him, and then we gonna see the camera zoom in. Is like his face gonna change to Pennywise. I'm like, nah, don't be doing this. Like,
if it's anything that this show does, is a lot of foreshadowing, right? Who came back in a couple episodes ago, right? right. That little kid, what was his name? Slipping my mind. Maddie came back and tried to take them down into the sewers. Now, I know they wouldn't fall for the same trick twice, but if Pennywise is messing with them, you better believe he's going to come up with a form of Rich. Oh, you couldn't save me. Oh, you know what I mean? Like something messed.
I don't know if he needs to do that because he already has Will.
I hope they do that. For all you guys that are sad about Rich's death, Pennywise does something like that. That'll just show you how gangster he is, bro.
What you mean? You know what I mean? Didn't enough black people die? I mean, it was a whole collection. I mean, that's enough for 10 seasons, the amount of black death that we had in this episode.
Yeah, that was a lot. I can't lie. So we get to the army and they find the shard, and the shard is actually in a turtle shell, which was very interesting because we know about the mythology of the turtle shell and everything. But they open it up, they take it out, and Leroy thinks that they're gonna use it to, you know, enclose Pennywise. Yeah, move it inwards. They say, nope, we are taking it back to base. And he's like, wait, what? That is going to open a door. They say they don't care. We get to Charlotte, and we find out where she went, and she went to see Rose, and they're asking Rose for help, and they want to get to Montreal. They faked his death. They trying to get him over the borders. Now, it's funny that you go to the Inuit, right? You go to the native to try and get you across the border. I'm just saying.
How do you think your family got over the border, brother? What are you talking about?
my thing is like, I'm not. So my position is I'm not 100% against him or for him. It's just more like, man, if this nigga would have made better choices, he's just one of those face palming, head shaking characters to me every time I see Hank.
They said psych facts. So what are you saying, Terrence? He should have stayed away from the white woman. That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah. When he saw them white cheeks, he should have been like, "Nah, I'm good," and you wouldn't have gotten to that stuff. These humans are the one, like I said earlier, these humans and their choices. Like Pennywise, he ain't got to do that much. He can sit in the back, blow up some balloon animals and just laugh and shit as they just make the worst kinds of choices, and the parents being the worst kind of parents. I mean, you ain't got to do much and he'd be able to eat indefinitely. I feel like he's figured out the stupidity of humans and how easy it is to mess with them, and also how easy it is to not really do much and just allow them to fuck up on their own.
It's the water. It's the water.
Facts. Because we have another stupid part that's coming up here too, right? So they take it back to base and they're about to burn the shard, right? Leroy comes in and he's all Rambo now, right? He pulling out his gun and he's like, hey, I'm not going to let you do this. You're not going to do this with the shard, right? Now, they stop it. They bring it back out. But then Shaw says, hey, Leroy, why don't you come up here and have a conversation with me?
Sure, boss. I'm on my way.
Right.
Without the fucking shard.
Right.
At least take the shard. You know what I mean?
You know what it is? From the beginning, Shaw has been really nice to him, you could say, like, hey, very accommodating. Hey, I got this dude, he disrespected you. So I feel like, with
sitting
Leroy,
up in the airplane in the helicopter with Hallorann with demon hunting, sending him into a sewer with his best friend, getting him shot in the ass.
That's facts, Brian. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, he was definitely wild the whole time, 100%. But I'm just saying, like, from Leroy's perspective, with his dumb ass, he can see it as like, okay, let me hear this dude out, because Shaw, he is really good at the wordplay, to try to get you to see something his way. Hey, go home and think it off. I'll talk to you tomorrow type shit. I'm like, no, you got to shoot him in his face. So I went from maybe he's okay to you got to shoot him in his face right now.
Him too. This guy needs to be shot in his face too. 100%.
Right? Like someone you should shoot just on principle.
I feel like he's worse than Shaw because he never asks it doesn't seem like he has any morals. He's like, oh, so you want me to burn it down? Yes, sir. You want to do this? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He doesn't do any thinking. He just follows orders.
The worst one is always the boss.
Well, but at the same time, though, to me, the henchman, I feel like with Shaw, he does more thinking than the henchman. The henchman does no thinking. That's why I feel like he's where. I feel like if Shaw falls, that dude's gonna take over. That's what I view him as.
I got you. Now, Leroy says, okay, boss. So he goes upstairs, right? And he's not watching his fucking back.
Yep.
He's an army soldier. The first thing they teach you is to always watch your back. Do you have enough fucking trust in Shaw after everything that happened that you're not going to watch your back?
That's not even an army thing or a Navy thing or anything like that. It's not in that. It's a black thing.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I agree with you. But I'm just saying because he's an army guy,
Right. So, like you said, because he's the army guy, it's even more so. But common sense, you always make sure to put your back to a position where you can see all the entry points. It's safety 101.
Dude, this is 2025. If I'm gonna walk into a room full of white people, my back's to the wall.
Oh yeah, you listen. You had already looked at every single exit before you even walked in that room. You know what I mean? You sizing up people. You're like, okay, there's only 3 on that side, so if I got to get to that exit, that's the one I'm going for, and I'm knocking these mofos down. You know what I mean? And of course, Tony said, you can tell Ingrid was Pennywise's daughter because she was able to take a lot of meat.
Man. Yep.
He said, yes, sir, boss. 100%. Check your 6. Always check your 6. 100%. Because he goes up there, he has a conversation. Shaw tells him that he tells Shaw that he's absolutely crazy. Mm-hmm. And as he pulls out his gun, this clown comes in there.
So what did you guys think about that line?
Which one?
Only trying to prevent a civil war.
No, he's causing it. So this is the problem with this is humans being savage and terrible in nature. They like to disguise the idea of doing something good while they want to manipulate and utilize things that are dangerous for everybody else, but they come up with these ridiculous justifications.
as to why we're doing it. Yeah.
One bad does not mean you should use another bad to try to cancel it out. And also, certain things you need to leave alone. You know, you cause more harm than good by trying to manipulate and control something that can't be controlled. Because the problem with these humans is they're too dumb to realize if you can't control humans with all these systems in place, what makes you think you're going to control something that's beyond humans?
Facts.
That's all right. The word Civil War kind of made me think, because he's been putting all the colored people out first, right? He's been putting them at risk all first, right? And the idea of Civil War just kind of, because what time are we in right now? The Civil Rights Movement.
Right.
You know, this is right before black people get voting rights.
Right.
The whole idea of Civil War. So instead, he wants to release Pennywise to get rid of all the fear, all the people that are fearful, to save this country from itself.
Right. And remember, he was watching the civil rights stuff on TV. So
yes,
all that 100% tracks, Brian. And so like I said, I will give you the benefit of the doubt until you do this type of shit. Cause then it's just like, okay, you're worse, because again, like he's just this, oh, it's fine, let me get you some hot cocoa. But he's doing a lot of treacherous stuff. To me, that's always the worst kind of person, because at least with a blatantly evil person, they just show you who they are right away. Like say somebody like the Joker, he lets you know within seconds he's evil. But with Shaw, he likes to try to be your friend. Hey, let me get you this nice room with a comfortable bed type bullshit as he's doing horrible stuff.
And women getting rights. Absolutely. So let me break this down to you, right? If Terrence was in the position of Leroy, everything that we seen in this show would have happened because Terrence decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. Me and Brian were saying from like episode 3, nah, fuck this dude, right? Nah, Terrence was like, no, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. So you put me and Brian in that situation, and none of this shit goes down because we didn't trust this motherfucker at one point, and we weren't giving him the benefit of the doubt.
No. Let me tell you why that's not true. There's a difference between me watching something versus me being in a situation, because you know me, I don't even like humans like that unless you happen to be cool with me. So regardless of what he said, I'm always going to be questioning his intentions and cover my 6, because that's what I was trained to do. Especially if I think for a smidget that you could be on the other side. And then, you know, obviously, if you're in that situation too, Anzo, I'm like, no. This dude, to me, if a human seems too nice or seems anything, it must be the opposite. It must be until proven otherwise. And there has to be consistency. I would need to see that time and time again. And if you have any sort of lapse, you so much as blink the wrong way, like Shaw would have got his neck snapped by me. As soon as like when he told me like, oh, it was just a test to make sure you didn't have no fear. So I'm like, so you manipulated me. I would have broke his neck right then and there.
Listen, I know, right, to trust my instinct. I don't need to wait to see anything. I trust my instinct. And if my instinct gives me any inclination that there is something wrong with you, and I ain't trying to brag, but 99% of the time I have been right about people. Even on this platform that we have streamed with, I have been right about people. So when if my instinct says not to trust this guy, I don't need to give no one the benefit of the doubt. Now, I may have been wrong, but I'll take my chances of being wrong then, right?
What episode was it that he revealed to Leroy that, you know, hey, it was me that set you up and it was part of the getting you into this program? What episode was that?
Two.
Okay,
2 or 3.
So that nigga would have been dead in episode 2 then, because you got me done. Like, to me, like you're done at that point. Like, nobody can put their hands on me and then you try to tell me, oh, it's part of a pro. No, he'd be dead so quick.
So I gotta say this. Mike
is
said,
hilarious.
Yeah, you all minus Terrence. I think he's scared of Terrence. That's why he minuses Terrence. Watching a show about a demonic alien entity for 6 whole episodes, then saying, hold on, where did this extra paper plane come from? Don't be that kind of nerd.
That's not what we're saying, by the way, Mike. What we're saying is that maybe Pennywise came up to their little secret spot. That's what we were saying.
Yeah, exactly. Shaw want people to stay in their place. No change of improvement at all. Absolutely, 100%. And don't knock Periwinkle's cheeks until you've clapped him, Terrence. Wow.
I'm speechless with that one. That was good.
Yeah,
Lenny
that's
Kravitz
funny.
is at the video game awards with a Dijon mustard suit on. Yo, Mike, what's up? So yeah, so they end up taking, control. They end up burning the shard, and we get this classic scene because Pennywise was just chilling. You know what I mean? He was in his gut.
That's amazing, yo.
Fire. Said poor Will. Well, we know Will's not gonna die, so he's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel you, poor Will. But I think the fact that Will actually got rid of his fear, I think he really did, like, I'm not scared of you anymore. That's why Pennywise did the lights instead of trying to eat him. You know what I mean? Oh, maybe the he needs more fear for it to taste good, and it's like he's not scared anymore. Well, I'm gonna use him.
You don't think that's because of the 27 years? Usually they take the 27 years to hibernation because he needs to digest this food. That's always what I thought. Ever since he got full, instead of eating the people, he hasn't eaten anyone since he's been full.
So and also like when you look at the chick that he was kind of using, right, in the sense of like, oh, this is my fake daughter, I'm pretending to be Bob, right? Like, so the thing is, he did the light thing on her and she was clearly scared. I think Will was doing a lot of posturing, which is what humans do. I'm not scared, there's nothing you can do. It's like, first of all, you don't talk like that when you're not scared. To me, I heard a bunch of fear. So I think that in his case, the reason why he didn't eat him is because he's Will. We know that he doesn't die until later, and I feel like he has plans for young Will.
I'm telling you, I think he's eating his fill.
Well, I don't think that, because I think he's gonna eat a lot more people in the next episode.
He kills a lot more.
Right?
I don't know if he eats anymore.
Yeah, I think he. See, here's the thing that I think, right? Like I said, I don't think it's because he was filled. Like I said, I think that the cycle of every 20 years, because like Terrence said, he's trapped in there, right? So goes to sleep for 20 years. Now he's able to, depending on how, like, roam the universe, like roam the earth, like he can stay up and kill everybody. So we'll see. There could be a little bit more to it. You could be right. There could be a little bit more to it, or it could be, yeah. But I just think in this scene, I think Will wasn't scared, and the fear doesn't taste good. You know what I mean? If you're not scared, it doesn't taste good. So he's gonna use Will to bring those kids down there to fucking have them be scared so that he can yam all of them up, And you're right. He may just want Will there for when he goes to sleep, he has that food there in case he wakes up within the 10 years, has to eat or some shit,
So Brother Anzo, so to me, he sounded scared. You don't think he was scared?
He's shocked.
Because
I think he was shocked. I don't think he was scared.
So say I put myself in that situation, he probably like, I'm not scared of you. Like when someone's voice elevates, it's usually to try to convince themselves that they're not doing something or not feeling something.
Or because they're just emotional, T. Like, we humans have emotions, and sometimes the emotions get the better part of us to where we're going to yell and scream or whatever. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you're scared. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Are you afraid of someone who just kind of jumps up and shocks you? Like, are you afraid of them, or are you shocked and it kind of got you a little bit? Like, I'm not scared of you. I wasn't scared. I was shocked. I was startled.
Okay, so before he saw Pennywise, I can just maybe do the whole shocked. But to me, I feel like once he turned around and saw him, I was just like, I saw the fear be more pronounced. Because to me, if I'm walking down the street or I turn around and something's there, I could potentially get startled. But the idea for the buildup that was happening to Will, I just saw fear the whole time. To me, it just looked like he was scared of shit.
I got you. Monique said Big Willie was like, I'm tired of your shit. I'm not scared of you. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's been through so much. Absolutely. Facts. Will was not scared. Absolutely. Ingrid wasn't scared either. She just finally realized he wasn't her father with her dumb ass. Yeah, exactly. She wasn't scared either because
Wow.
she grabbed him like, hey, where the hell are you going? Like, no, bitch, don't put your hands on me. you know?
Yeah, okay,
They're
so
like,
there you go. It's what you just said. So she grabbed him, but as soon as he turned around, I think that fear started to build up again when she realized, like, oh shit, I have no control. It's like humans, they will only be assertive if they feel that they're in control of the situation. But Ingrid and Will, they're not in control of shit as they just saw. So once that is broken, it's like ice. When a hammer goes through it, they crack, and all that fear just comes right to the surface. And I think that Pennywise knows that. So I think he can tell the difference between if someone is posturing versus if they're legitimately without fear.
I got you. I got you. I think I think we'll find out in the next episode because that's how this episode ends. Let's get the grades in there. What were your grades for this episode, Brian?
for TV, I'm gonna give it an A. For my emotions, we'll give it a C. Cause F you. Give me that much heart attacks and crying and sad and having to watch Rosewood type of stuff. I don't need any of that stuff in my life. No, I don't want that. But the actual episode is A.
T.
Oh, this is an A plus. I'm like, you see, even though they took my boy Rich out, to Terrence don't be crying and all that shit. Like at the most, I could say that something might be sad, like Rich and then the Marge stuff. And then seeing all the black people get their shit wrecked, that was really sad. And I could see that being terrifying because that stuff actually happened in real life and you didn't need no fucking clown to be there. So there's just a lot of realism that was there. And the execution of it, like they really delivered on the idea of like, okay, when you watch something horror related, the whole point of the horror genre is to scare you or make you very uncomfortable. And I feel like they accomplished all of that because that type of material, you put that on for most humans, they're going to be crying, squirming in their seats. You're going to do exactly what you need to do. And then if somebody like me's watching, I won't be squirming in my seat and shit. But what I will do is acknowledge that's some fucked up shit or that's sad right there. So the fact that they got me to think on that and the idea of me not wanting characters to die, especially Rich, I feel they more than did their job. They delivered on that. Because again, despite the predictions of what this character is going to die, but you don't know how and when it's going to happen. So you can still be shocked. And I think the idea of what happened with Rich and then us seeing his body after the fact, I'm like, you're not going to get a lot that's going to hit harder emotionally than episode 7. I think after that, you just get a lot of epic stuff. But I feel like that had the heart of it. Like it really made you feel shit.
I got you. The moment Pennywise jumped down P and Doo entered Will's drawers immediately. Oh, Ish Bel Air tonight. No, we're doing the Bel Air breakdown tomorrow. So if it says tonight, that's a mistake, but it's definitely tomorrow. But I don't know if you watched the episodes because the episodes dropped last night or the night before. So yeah, you're behind, Tony. But I'm gonna give this episode
Spoiler Kings. I think we're gonna talk about it a little bit, but not the
I got you.
We're gonna do on Friday with on Big Four. It's gonna be great.
I got you. A lot of good stuff in those episodes too, as well. You know what I mean? Big Willie showing up at the end, great. Old Aunt Viv showing up, absolutely great too, as well. So a lot of good things to talk about in there. But like I said, I'm giving this episode an A+ as well, and I cannot wait for the final episode, guys. Make sure to check us out. Sunday night will be the watch party for the final episode. I will be here. Yes, 100%. Not missing that one for nothing. Check out Spoiler Kings. They are going to go on in about 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah. So we're able to get this thing done in time enough. T-Virus, his channel with the world's finest. But I'll let you guys talk. Brian, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
What he said.
Terrence, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
I was not expecting that. That's funny. Oh yeah. Hey, what's going on? Terrence here. You can find me on World's Finest Team Up, as Anzo was beginning to say. You have me and my friend Sean Stackhouse. The eggnog has really sparked a lot of the creative juice, and we're gonna be delivering some stuff there. And the holidays is coming on. Now, Terrence don't care about no Christmas, but I know that humans, a lot of them, they do care about Christmas or what they feel is a holiday. So to me, you get your eggnog, you get your little gingerbread cookies, and go over to the channel and be informed and entertained.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because next week will, depending on the days or whatever, but will probably be the last like OOC or whatever for like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm going to take a whole 2 week break from YouTube. I might do it too.
Maybe a 10
You might
day.
see me. Yeah, something like that. You might see me pop up every now and then, but it's not going to be a regular schedule during the holidays, right? So make sure to just keep your notifications on in case something does happen. But other than that, we are about to get out of here. Thank you, everybody in the chat that came in and watched the show. Don't forget to check us out tomorrow night for the Bel Air recap. Don't forget to check us Saturday morning for the rewind, which is going to be fire because there's a lot more stuff going on with this
There's a
Netflix
lot
merger.
more with this, and with this stream right on till 10 more hours because the holidays and
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, exactly. Let's go.
Peace.